Hey, Arise family. Welcome to Studying with me, Joshua 16 and 17. As always, I encourage you guys to go over to the website, CandyNicoleArise.com, and go underneath study guides. And a study guide is available for each chapter in which we are covering here in Joshua. Today, we're going to be covering 16 and 17. I encourage you to read it completely in your own personal time, and of course, use your study guide to help you to dive deeper into this. There are certain parts of this the Lord has pointed out to me to speak to you guys about today. And let's get into it in Joshua 16 first, and then we'll move over to 17. The allotment for the descendants of Joseph went from the Jordan at Jericho to the waters of Jericho on the east, throughout the wilderness, ascending from Jericho into the hill country of Bethel. From Bethel it went to Luz and proceeded to the border of Arthes and Othoth. It ascended westward to the border of Japhates, as far as the border of Lower Bethan Haran, then Gezer, and ended in the Mediterranean Sea. So Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, received their inheritance. So Joseph did not receive a direct inheritance, but he received a double portion through his sons, okay? So that is what we're talking about here, and how the land is getting divided up amongst them. Now the Lord brings me, or points a finger to me, to highlight in Joshua 17 verses 3. It speaks about Manasseh's inheritance. And so it says, Now Zelophehad, the son of Heber, son of Gilead, son of Manar, son of Manasseh, had no sons, only daughters. There are the names of his daughters: Malaya, Noah, Hojin, Malaka, Tarzan. They came before the priest Eleazar, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our male relatives. So they gave them an inheritance among their father's brothers, in keeping with the Lord's instructions. As a result, 10 tracts fell to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which are beyond the Jordan, because Manasseh's daughters received an inheritance among his sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of Manasseh's sons. So what we're seeing here, we read about yesterday in chapter 13-14, there was a young lady who asked her father for some land, all right? And now we're seeing here also that these ladies are getting their portion of land. And what I want to tell you is you are still qualified. That is a word that I delivered the other day, but I want to deliver it here once again. See, women in that time, it was not the norm for them to be inheriting land or to be requesting land. But we saw it in chapter 13 and 14 that there was a young lady that requested land from her father, and it was given to her. And now we're seeing again these ladies requesting their land, their portion, okay, and it being given to them. I want to remind you today that you are still qualified. Some of you feel there's something that disqualified you from your inheritance of what it is that God has said that is for you. But today I want to remind you through this word, just like these ladies, you are still qualified. Despite maybe the rules that have been put up by the world, if the Lord has said something is for you, it is for you, okay? Then I want to bring us over to another part of Joshua 17 that the Lord highlighted to me. And we're going to be in Joshua 17 verses 14 right now. It says, Joseph's descendants said to Joshua, Why did you give us only one tribal allotment as an inheritance? We have many people, because the Lord has been blessing us greatly. If you have so many people, Joshua replied to them, go to the forest and clear an area for yourselves there, in the land of the Perizzites and the Ramans, because Ephraim hill country is too small for you. But the descendants of Joseph said, the hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who inhabit the valley area have iron chariots, both Belshin with its surrounding villages, and in the Jerel valley. So Joshua replied to Joseph's family, that Ephraim and Manasseh, you have many people in great strength. You will not have just one allotment, because the hill country will be yours also. It is a forest. Clear it, and its outlying areas will be yours. You can also drive out the Canaanites, even though they have iron chariots and are strong. So what we saw whenever they were fighting their last battle, the Lord told them to get rid of the chariots and the horses, to completely get rid of that stuff, right? And it's because he didn't want them trusting in chariots and horses. Back then, that was a sign of wealth. It was a sign of power, prestige. It really showed them to be something big and mighty, right? But the Lord wanted them to rout up their enemies, horses and chariots, after they defeated them and completely destroy them. That's like a pile of guns and you're going to war and you're completely destroying it utterly, and you're just depending on God. And one thing that you have to see in this, as we're reading Joshua 17, they continue to say how they're being blessed with so many people. They're just growing and growing, right? Well, they looked at that as a problem, but it really was an opportunity. You have a mass amount of people. That means you have enough people to go in there and to take over and to conquer what it is that the Lord has said is for you. So that could be for some of us, how we don't see the opportunity. We complain, but we don't see the opportunity. We don't look at the gifts that God has placed inside of us to go out and conquer what it is that he said that is for us. And this goes right back to the front of Joshua, and I will continue to bring this back to you guys. In Joshua 1:9, it says, "Haven't I commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And so Joshua has a response to them that, what are you afraid of? Go out there and take territory. Take what's yours, okay? You're saying you have a whole bunch of people. The Lord is continuing to bless you with people. That means you have strong men to go in there and conquer the land, okay? So, haven't the Lord commanded you to be strong and courageous, not to be afraid or discouraged? And what we're seeing here is they're afraid and discouraged, but the Lord has given them a direct command. And Joshua has been sitting in this command so much that he doesn't even see the problem. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of them, and yeah, they have chariots, but God is with us. Be strong and courageous and go in there and take what it is that is for you. I hope you guys have enjoyed studying Joshua 16 and 17. Again, I encourage you to go ahead and read it yourself. Download the study guide. Bring it up on CandyNicoleArise.com. It's underneath study guides. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll be discussing more of Joshua.